how do you call a pretty bad service? Service. Hi there, people! All the best from beautiful but snowy Poland. My name is Matt Sierra and this is Business 2.0, the show where we're talking about how to earn more money, how to spend this money in more intelligent, smarter way, and simply how to live a better life. And today we're gonna think about the possibility to improve your life skills when you don't succeed. Because every single year we've got some dreams, some of us have their list of dreams, of the goals to fulfill, but then the reality comes in and says, you're not gonna succeed, you're not gonna manage to do it. And yeah, that's a sad truth that some of us don't even have their lists of goals, and others, yes, they have their lists, but they don't fulfill most of the things there. The research shows that 90% of our New Year's resolutions are there 10 years in a row, which means that we are pretty inefficient, which means that we have to check it out, to change something in our lives when we don't succeed. And today I'm gonna give you 14 reasons why we don't succeed and 14 solutions for those problems. So I guess we're gonna cover the whole topic. Every time when you see in your lifetime that you aren't succeeding, you aren't achieving your goals, then just remember this very episode and think about it. Which of those 14 reasons is there? And what is the solution for that? Remember also that below this video, you're gonna find the link to download the free episode when I covered the Elon Musk's success strategies. 60 minutes of free video. So I deeply advise you to download it right now because it's gonna be pretty helpful. Okay, so when there is a new year, we create our lists, our bucket lists, our goals lists, our dream lists. And then we've got a lot of motivation, we've got a lot of power. And then after 2 weeks, we forgot everything. Or even if we maintain this energy, this inner power, there's still something missing. From time to time, some things just don't wanna work. Why? Well, there are 14 answers for that. So every time when you find yourself not achieving your goals, then think about the solution, the correct solution, the correct explanation out of the list that I'm gonna share with you right now. So, and a pretty comforting thing is that even people who have their success, who achieve a lot of successes, I consider myself a person who achieves a lot of things, achieves a lot of goals and dreams, but still, I achieve only 50% of my list every single year. So, it's probably 10 times more than I used to achieve in the past, but still, it's only 50%. But right now, I'm pretty happy and content with that because it's good enough. But still, with the rest, with those 50% that I don't achieve, I take them and start thinking about them, thinking what would be solution to achieve them the next year. And then sooner or later, the next year or in 2 years, I finally achieve them. Why? Because I'm searching for the solution. So when you find yourself not achieving your goals, then maybe it could be our point number 1, which is because this is more complex than you thought before. For example, you wanna stop smoking, and you think that it's related only to stopping the smoking. But what if it's not as simple as that? What if smoking is helpful for a person to relieve the stress? because this particular person can inhale deeply and exhale deeply, and we're not used to do it normally because in our lifetime, during our schools, when you were in primary school, secondary school, university, you had various classes, but I'm pretty sure that you didn't have breathing classes. Yeah, probably not. So it means that we don't know how to breathe, although it sounds illogical, like Matt, but I'm breathing. Yeah, I survived so many years, so probably I'm breathing right. Well, in order to survive, we have to breathe. But in order to survive with a good health, we have to breathe properly. And those are two different things. And that's why breathing, exhaling and exhaling profoundly relieves the stress. And for a person who smokes, that's probably the only moment during the day when she really can relieve the stress. So if you take smoking from her and you don't add anything, you don't replace it with anything, then the person maybe possibly will not smoke, but will be deep in the stress. So this particular person will be stressed, and it's not gonna be healthy in the long run. Although maybe she will not smoke, but probably it's not gonna work even. So she will get back to smoking, not knowing even why. Well, the answer could be, it's not the same answer every time, but it could be that it was not as simple as that. That this person didn't smoke only because she or he liked it, but also it helped her to relieve the stress. So in order to stop smoking, we have to search for other solutions to relieve the stress. So it could be more complex. So every time, if you don't succeed with something, think about it. Is it really as simple as that? Or maybe there are hidden motivations, there are hidden problems. For example, a person with depression isn't achieving her goals or his goals. And the problem is not the lack of motivation or some problem with, I wanted to have to run 20 kilometers per week, but I'm not succeeding. Well, if that's a person who suffers a depression, then he or she shouldn't work with running, how to run, how to motivate herself to run more, but he or she should first take care of the depression, because without depression, it's gonna be very easy, much easier. With depression, it's gonna be almost impossible. So maybe it's more complex than we think. So let's think about it, okay? And right now, if that's not the solution, then maybe our point number 2 is gonna be the solution. So the point number 2 is that this dream, this goal is not really mine. For example, I had a dream to make some sports using bike 3 times a week. So to ride a bike 3 hours per week. That was my goal for the last year. And then after 2 months, I finally bought a bike and I've done it twice. So I've ridden a bike a couple of times and it didn't give me any fun. It was hard, it was tough, it wasn't funny, Like comparing to running, for example, in my case, jogging, or comparing to visiting a gym, to pumping the iron. For me, it was boring, too tough. Well, it wasn't fun. So I just deleted the goal, because I'm not gonna force myself to do it only because I could. Well, there's no point to do it like this. So even if you had some goal for many years, like to swim 3 times a week, but after years you see that, well, you're not fond of swimming. You don't have this inner motivation to swim because, in fact, you prefer jogging. Then maybe let's leave it. Let's leave it alone. And after trying this, you're not a loser because you bought a bike, you bought a package to visit the pool, and you paid for it, and right now you don't do it, you're not a loser. You would be a loser trying to do the things that are against you, that don't give you fun, that are not the best, the most appropriate things for you. So some people should swim, others should ride a bike, others should jog, others should pump the iron, and others should do something else. Yes, probably everyone should have some activity, physical activity, a couple of times a week. That's common to all of us. But what type of activity should it be? It's unique to each and every of us. So we should think it this way, because maybe you're not achieving your goal because it's not your goal. And then you should destroy it, eliminate it, cancel it, and create a different goal. Okay? Sometimes the goal could be yours, but it doesn't make any sense. As for now, for example, I had some goal like visit the United States of America. That was my goal 2 years ago. And then the pandemic started. And then first it was impossible. Then it was possible, but with so many problems, like not only being vaccinated, but also doing the test, but doing the test 24 hours before arriving. So I would have to book 2 weeks in some places, in some hotels in the United States. But then organizing everything, buying a flight, booking a flight, and then doing a test only 24 hours before my flight. So if I tested positive, I would lose it all the money, all the flight, all the hotels booked, all the money. So it didn't make any sense. Too many complications, too much stress, doing it with kids, with those masks, with those controls, additional controls, with those restrictions to check whether it was possible to have a dinner in New York, or maybe it would be better to visit Miami because the rules were different. Well, it wouldn't be fun at all for me. So I resigned. I thought that I'm gonna wait year, 2 years till this moment when it's gonna be easier and when it's gonna be possible to have fun. So it's still my goal, but I've postponed it because it wouldn't make any sense to do it in that particular moment. So sometimes our goals aren't really our goals, or they are our goals, but they don't make any sense right now in this particular moment. So then we should postpone them or even resign from doing them. The point, the possibility, the reason number 3 is that you are achieving your goal, but not completely, not fully, or maybe you're not even sure if you achieve it or not, because some of our goals are vague, like they are not as obvious, because stopping smoking is obvious. You whether stopped or no, it's obvious, easy to check it. But the new habit of sleeping 8 hours per night, this is something that has to happen every single night. So the question is, do you measure it? How many nights have you achieved this goal? If you don't measure it, then it becomes some vague idea of doing something, but you don't really know whether you do it frequently or not. Maybe you are 80% successful and maybe it would be enough. Like during the weekends you party, for example, so you don't need to sleep so much. But during the weekdays or weeknights, you prefer having those 8 hours of sleep. And maybe you already achieved it, but you don't know it because you don't measure it. I have my Apple Note with various statistics, and I put there the dates where I practice my languages. Like today, I've done my English exercise, I've done my Spanish exercise, I've done my Portuguese exercise, and I've done them for many months right now, and I'm counting it. I'm counting how many days I had my 2 liters of water, because I can't have a goal like drinking 2 liters of water per day without checking it every single day. Yeah, so I'm checking it, I'm counting it, and only then I know if I succeed. So the reason could be that you don't even know if you succeed because you don't measure it, and you have to start measuring it. It can be strange for some people that you measure the days with water, or the nights when you slept more than 8 hours or 7 hours, for example. It may be strange, but it works. So try it, measure things, and you're gonna see that measuring things means focusing on them, and focusing on them means that you give them more energy, more attention, more probability to succeed. That's the truth. The point number 4 is that we can simply forget about our goals. You're gonna tell me, but Matt, how is it possible that I forget about my dream? This is my dream. This is something very important to me. Well, I know. The 1st of January, you've got a lot of motivation, a lot of energy. Everything seems so possible, so feasible. But then, after 2 weeks, the life comes in. Hundreds of tasks, a lot of work, a lot of things to do. Your family wanting something all the time. That's life. That's pretty normal. And it is really possible that on Monday you forget that you wanted to visit the gym. It is really possible. And you've got this in your experience. You've had it a lot of times, that during the middle of the day, you've just reminded yourself that you wanted to visit the gym. But right now it's too late because you don't have your shoes, your dress, everything, your trousers, whatever, yeah? And it's impossible because you don't have everything prepared, because you've forgotten. Okay? So it is possible. And what's the solution if that's the problem? Well, there are a couple of solutions, but I guess the first thing could be just prepare the reminders. The reminders, I mean physical reminders. If you plan to practice yoga, but you always forget, then take your mattress or the stuff that you use to practice yoga and just put it right in front of your eyes. So every time when you get up or you visit your living room, there is this yoga stuff in the center of the room. So you see it 7 times a day. It's impossible to forget about it then, yeah? If you plan to start day with jogging, then put your jogging shoes in front of your door. Okay, so it's not gonna be possible to leave your house without those shoes, because you're gonna see them. If you wanna practice languages, first, buy our courses in my Institute of Linguistics. You're gonna find the link below. And second, install the language app. It could be our app, for example, and put it in your front screen. Don't hide it in some, in some places, folders, and so on. You can hide the apps that are not crucial to your life, like Facebook, Instagram. You can hide them. If you don't want to eliminate them completely, then just hide them in the folders. But all the other apps that are crucial for you, like sport app, yoga app, language app, put them in front of you so you could see them 20 times a day. Then you're not gonna forget about it. It's pretty important, and from time to time, change their arrangement. Yeah, so switch the place. Switch the yoga app with language app. Just switch them, because we are getting it's getting normal for us that we start ignoring things about seeing the exactly same thing 20 times in a row. So after time we would see it, but we wouldn't think about it. So then you switch the apps, you switch the icons, and then it's gonna be pretty new. And then you're gonna have 2 weeks more seeing those things and remembering them. So that's the first type of reminder, but you can also use notification. We waste a lot of our lives being attracted by notifications from Facebook app, from Instagram app, from shitty apps. I'm gonna call it this way. Why won't we use notifications to make our lives better? For example, if you know that in the morning you wanna have some jogging, then why not to organize to set an alarm clock with a word jogging or gym. We should use them and be prepared for it, especially when it's later during the day and we know that we're gonna have a lot of things to do, and then it's really gonna be possible to forget about those things. Then put the reminder, put the notification, and at 1 p.m. you're gonna receive it. The alarm clock will tell you, hey John, you have to stop working right now and have a walk of 20 minutes. It's really possible to forget about 20 minutes walks. That's why with alarm clock, it's gonna be impossible to forget it, okay? So we need notification and reminders. Then and only then, we're not gonna forget anymore. Okay, what if it's not the reason you're not achieving success with a particular habit or goal? Then maybe you've taken the steps that are too big. Like for example, you wanna learn Spanish with my Institute of Linguistics, and you start the big way. Yeah, like I'm gonna practice my Spanish 1 hour per day. Well, in the beginning it's gonna be possible because you're gonna have a lot of motivation, but after 2 weeks it's gonna be too much because maybe you've got kids, maybe you've got your spouse waiting for you, maybe you've got a lot of work in your life, definitely you've got a lot of stuff to do. So in the long run it's gonna be impossible. That's why, and there even are scientific proofs that you shouldn't learn anything this way, like preparing 1 or 2 hours per day and sitting down learning. It's not gonna be efficient. It's not gonna work in the long run. What you should do is having couple of short sessions. For example, today I had my 3 5-minute sessions of Spanish. They were easy to grasp, they were fun, they didn't destroy all my energy. That's why they were possible to do. That's why I'm gonna do them for years and not for 1 week. So, if your goal was too much, too big, like I'm gonna stop smoking from today, and you've smoked for 20 years. So maybe, just maybe, you should decrease the amount of cigarettes smoked by you daily, and then after time decrease more, and then after some time decrease even more, and give yourself more time to do it. Because if you wanna start big, then you're gonna stop quickly. Okay? So it could be the solution. Point number 6, the possibility, the reason number 6 is that you do it, that you are achieving your goal, but not completely. For example, your plan was to visit the gym 4 times a week, and right now you've managed half of it. Like you visit the gym 2 times a week. So you feel like a loser, although you should feel like a winner because you've already accomplished 50% of your goal. You've already created the possibility to maintain a good health, a good posture, and so on. So you already are a winner. Why should you think you are a loser? No, you're a winner. And the solution could be slightly different than you think. Because the solution maybe is not forcing yourself even more to finally visit the gym 4 times a week, but maybe you should leave it and search for something else. Like you've achieved the goal partially, you visit the gym 2 times a week, so maybe if it seems impossible to you to visit the gym 4 times a week, so maybe you should search for something else. And yes, visit the gym 2 times a week and do your jogging 2 times a week. Or visit the gym 2 times a week and do yoga 2 times a week. Yeah, so maybe you should search somewhere else, because if you don't succeed to do it fully, then maybe you shouldn't do it fully, and maybe you should search for other possibilities, especially that you succeeded partially, which means that probably it's enough. Maybe it's enough to your organism, to your body. Maybe it doesn't want to have more this kind of training. It could be like this. So you should just try something else and maybe accept the fact that you've really succeeded, that you've managed to do it and you've reached your goal. Although the number on your sheet of paper, on your bucket list, was slightly different. Whatever, if you're happy with the number that you have already, then that's it. We've got it. Okay. Point number 7. It's a bad moment to do this. For example, 1 year ago, I've had a goal to give my children financial classes, so they knew why it's better to be a capitalist, why capitalism is not bad, although they say so, but the truth is that capitalism is not a perfect system, but it's one of the best systems that we've created in the history of humankind. Right now, we're living in the times of corporationism, where big companies have their monopoly and they don't allow small entrepreneurs to change their lives. Or maybe we can change our lives, but we can't create another Facebook, another Google, because they will destroy us. It's pretty impossible. We're blocked by laws, by regulations, and so on. So that's corporationism, the big corporations collaborating with governments. That's not capitalism. Capitalism means that we never allow to create monopolies, that we should have a market of plenty of small people doing their stuff, creating their products and services. That would be the perfect solution. But it doesn't work this way anymore, unfortunately. But still, I wanna explain it to my children, because I want to explain it to them why they should have much money, how to create value to the market. Yeah, I know they are small, but why not to start right now? So I wanted to give them those financial classes, and I've tried to do it right after coming back home, after doing my job, after doing my work. So I've accomplished all my tasks, came back home, and I was exhausted. And my kids had a lot of questions. How do you create the value to the market? How to explain it to your children without any energy left, with your battery empty? That was it. So the idea was good, but the moment was bad. It wasn't appropriate. So I've changed it, and right now, my goal is, and my reminders, my notifications and so on are for the weekend. So on Saturday in the morning, we're leaving home, we depart to have some travel, like 1 hour travel. We're going somewhere, and during this travel, my kids would like to do something on a mobile phone, for example, but I'm doing our financial classes. Okay, so we start our travel with full energy because it's the beginning of our travel, it's the beginning of the weekend, so we all have a lot of energy, a lot of power, a lot of internal motivation, and I start explaining them financial stuff. That's the good moment, and finally it works. So it didn't work not because a lack of motivation, a lot of law of attraction, that law of attraction didn't work for us, but it didn't work simply because it wasn't the right moment. So maybe, just maybe, in this particular case that you're analyzing right now in your life, maybe it's just not the right moment, not the right day, not the right hour, and you should change it and put it somewhere else in your calendar. Okay, point number 8, external factors. For example, your goal is not truly yours. Like maybe your goal is that your spouse stops smoking. Well, that's not your goal. That is your spouse's goal, or probably, unfortunately, it isn't. his or her goal, which means that you've planned someone else's life. Well, it's like I put on my list the goal to end the pandemics. Well, I'd like to end it, definitely. I'd like everyone to be happy. I'd like everyone to be rich, to have a lot of fun. I'd like everyone to live in a safe place. But I can't do it. It's just out of my reach. But if I plan it every single year, then I'm gonna be stressed. I'm gonna be frustrated. I'm gonna get cancer probably finally after years of stressing myself out. It would be pointless because it's out of us. What I can plan, like if this case is real, yeah, that you really wanted to your spouse to stop smoking, you should delete this goal. But you could exchange it to have an hour conversation every single quarter of a year with your spouse about this topic. That's something which you can control. Yeah, because you can plan that this month I'm gonna have a talk with my spouse without aggression, without attacking her or him. I'm gonna explain her why it's gonna be good for all of us if she stops smoking. Yeah, that's something under your control because you can check it. Yeah, you can check it after doing it. You can tell yourself, standing in front of the mirror, that yeah, I've done it. I had this conversation. It wasn't efficient, and she told me that she was never gonna stop smoking because she likes it, whatever. But I've done my part. I've done all I could. So the goal is achieved because that is your goal. Okay? So if you don't achieve something, then think about it. If it's really achievable by you, if it's your goal, because if it's not your goal, then you're not gonna achieve it anyway. Because whether this person is gonna achieve it or not, but you're not gonna achieve it ever. Because you're not gonna achieve other people's goals. Okay? So change it into your goals. Control what you wanna do. If you think that your kid spends too much time using mobile phone, for example, then, and this kid is not 7 but 18 or 20, then your control is not 100% anymore. Yeah, that's maybe that's sad, but that's true. So you will not control everything, but again, you can have a goal to talk to this person, to show the arguments, to create some solutions like playing board games together in order to attract him or her to spend more time with you, whatever. Or even give her more money to visit the cinema instead of watching the screen of her mobile. Where there are plenty of solutions, but you should plan only those that you can control yourself. Because doing otherwise is the perfect way to being stressed out and pretty unhappy, which is something we want to avoid. Yeah. Okay. The next one, number 9, is that something is simply unreal. For example, someone wants to sleep 8 hours per night, but he or she works 16 hours per day because she's in a pretty shitty financial situation. So she works 16 hours per night, and still she wants to visit the gym every single day for 2 hours. So do your math. 8 plus 16 plus 2? No, it doesn't work. But this person during New Year's Eve had so much motivation that she was convinced that she was able to achieve it. But it is impossible. It is just simply impossible. So in order to make it possible, we have to change something in our lives. Like change our workplace, change our job, sleep less is not the solution. I deeply avoid advising such the shitty things. So this person should sleep 8 hours, but maybe there is some possibility not to work so much or to find a better job, to earn more in less hours and so on. But if you don't achieve something simply because it's impossible, it's out of reality, then you're not gonna achieve it, forcing yourself into it. Because it's not about motivation, it's not about force, internal power. It's about the reality. So you have to change your life. Sometimes those are big changes, but they are necessary. So if something is not real, then you're not gonna achieve it. Okay? Maybe that's the reason you're not achieving this particular goal. And if not, then let's move to the point number 10. The wrong team. For example, you wanna stop smoking, but your 5 closest friends are the guys who smoke all the time. If you tell them, guys, I wanna stop smoking, they will start convincing you that you shouldn't do it. Hey Jake, why you wanna stop smoking? You don't wanna spend time with us or what? Well, you've got to have some reason to die. Yeah, maybe the lung cancer would be good enough. They will start convincing you, reminding you some good memories when you passed together while smoking. Yeah, but you wanna stop. But with those people, it's gonna be pretty tough. Maybe you wanna make millions, but your only business partner is the guy who doesn't want to invest his money, who doesn't want to invest his energy, who complains all the time and is a pretty negative person. Every time you tell him or her that you want to change your life, that you want to create a huge company or medium company, but you want to earn a lot of money, he tells you, well, John, but it's impossible. It's impossible. All the rich people in the world are evil. Richness is evil by itself, and maybe we should resign. Maybe we should do some small things, not to show off too much. It's not gonna be motivating. Yeah, you're gonna lose your motivation. So maybe a lot depends on us when we were talking about our energy, about our motivation. But the truth is that if all the people around us are attacking us with their internal limits, then we're gonna go down. That's why from time to time we have to create the new team to avoid some people. Yeah, if some of your friends are complaining all the time, the world is always bad in their eyes. Always. It's not like they are having a bad time, but as long as you remember, they've always been saying shitty things, that the life was bad and white and black and everything was so sad. Then maybe you should just exchange them for some more motivating people. It could sound harsh. Yeah, I know. But you shouldn't destroy yourself spending time with such the people. So from time to time, you would achieve this particular goal with right people. Like for example, I wouldn't achieve this goal to create 6 channels in 6 various languages, which I do right now, without right people. It wouldn't be possible because I wouldn't have time to do it. I wouldn't have motivation. From time to time, I don't have motivation, but other people from my team tell me, Matt, let's do it. That's our plan. And then I regain my motivation again. I have it renewed, and I can do it again because I've got great people there around me with a lot of motivation. So even if some of us loses his motivation, then others come with help and do it, and we just do it. Doing it with people who are negative, who are complaining all the time, would be simply impossible, and I would seize every single way going to achieve my goals. Yeah, I would stop doing the things. And that's why it could be the solution. Yeah, if you don't have right people, then maybe you should search for them. That's the solution. The solution number 11 is bad energy, or the lack of energy. Like for example, you wanna change something in your life, for example, start learning Spanish, but you never succeed. Maybe the solution is not forcing yourself to do the app exercise to practice. Because if you, for example, have a hamburger every single day, if you sleep 4 hours per night, if you never exercise physically, then probably your body feels shitty, you're overweight, probably you feel bad. And if you feel bad, then it's much harder to have some motivation to practice Spanish. Although those things seem unrelated, but they are deeply related. Because eating shit every single day and undersleeping makes you exhausted all the time. You don't have energy, you're irritated, you're aggravated, you don't want to do anything. And in this anything, it includes Spanish lessons. So maybe you shouldn't focus on those Spanish lessons, on those Spanish practice, but you should focus on those things that are primary, that make you, for example, an unhappy person, an unhealthy person. Because if you're unhealthy, then how to focus on Spanish language, for example, on running? Well, on running it could be easier if you're overweight, yeah, because running could help you. But Spanish, how could it help you? If you consider yourself an unhappy person, then probably you don't sleep enough, you don't eat good enough, and you don't practice enough physical stuff. Being unhappy puts you into depression, and being depressed puts you into lack of will to do anything. And then whatever is your goal, it doesn't really matter, yeah? You're not gonna do it because you lack energy. So first you should focus on having more energy, and if you always find yourself without energy, then you should think about your food, about your sleep, and about your sleeping time, and about your physical exercises. Those three areas of your life could influence every other areas. It's very important. Point number 12, solution and problem number 12 is boringness. Some things are purely boring and we don't like doing them, but we have to do them in order to achieve our deeper goals. For example, I invest in real estate to have the monthly money from monthly payment, from the rent. But first, to have the rent, to have this monthly income, I have to find the right property, then negotiate the price, then buy it, then prepare it, like fix it, wherever, prepare it to be in better shape, and then find a customer who's gonna rent it. So, couple of steps. Out of those steps, I like searching for properties because I have a lot of fun doing this, checking, comparing the possibilities. And then I like visiting those places and negotiating prices, organizing everything. But then the process gets boring, like visiting the lawyer, signing the papers, reading all those agreements and so on, then renovating the property, fixing it. That's something that I can't do. I don't like doing it. I don't like searching for people who do it, checking their qualifications. I hate it. And then searching for a customer who's gonna rent it, preparing the ad. I hate it. So I've decided, after procrastinating, because I've even bought 2 properties to rent them or to sell them, and they waited for 3 months without anything because I was so out of motivation to do something with them. So I've already had it. I've already had them. I've already spent my money to buy them, but I didn't do anything more. So I could say I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money not doing anything because they could be rented after this renovation, after preparation, but I didn't have motivation to do it. So finally I've decided that there is a different solution, which was to just outsource those things. Right now, when I buy a property, I visit it, I negotiate the price, but someone else signs the papers, and then someone else organizes the reparation, preparation, and all those stuff. I found the great lady who does it all. I mean, I just give her the keys, and she enters the house, the property, prepares everything. She finds her guys to do it, to work hard there. And I just get the numbers in the end. I pay her, she pays the guys, and the case is closed. And then the real estate agents takes the keys from her and finds a customer to rent the property. So it means that my only work left is that the part that I like. Yeah, searching for properties, negotiating the prices, and that's it. Then other people organize the rest, and that's why investing in real estate became much easier for me, much more accessible, and much more motivation. It gives me much more motivation right now, because I know that the process could be pretty nice, and I will avoid being bored by it. So, if you're bored by something, then there are two solutions. The first one is to outsource it. The second one, sometimes the second one is just resign from doing it. Because if you're bored every time you swim, then maybe you should resign from swimming and find a different type of sport that will not get you bored. Of course. So just leave swimming, try biking, try hiking, try riding, whatever, I don't know. You should know. But just resign. And the third solution, if you're bored, but you still want to keep doing it, then maybe prepare one day for doing boring stuff. Yeah? So it's going to be the third day of the month. And then you're going to prepare all the papers for your accountant. Then you're going to buy your property, which you don't like, for example, but you want to invest in properties, for example. Yeah? So that's going to be the boring day. The boring day. A lot of coffee. You should prepare it for yourself. Yeah? And then you're gonna do it, but it's gonna be only one day. It's not gonna be in your mind every single day and night. You're not gonna think about it, because you know that, yeah, this third day of the month, I'm gonna do it all, and then I'm gonna leave it behind. Perfect. Okay, the solution and problem number 13 could be the fear. I come from Poland, the country where when you start speaking a foreign language, they will destroy you. I mean, the only bad things I've heard during my lifetime about my English language, although I'm aware of the fact that I don't speak perfect English. I've never visited the United States. I've only visited UK for 3 days. So I've spent 3 days of my 37 years of lifetime in English-speaking countries. So still, I think my level is pretty, well, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. So that's why I've never heard a bad thing about my English from Americans, from Englishmen, never ever. They've always told me, wow, you've spent only 3 days in your lifetime in English-speaking countries? Well, maybe it's not perfect, but it's pretty nice. You're amazing. That's what those people are telling me. Poles, my people, tell me, Matt, you've used the wrong verb. And I've heard the ing ending in your word. You didn't say ending, but you said ending. You've committed the error. You've made the mistake. Polish people tell me so. That's why when speaking foreign languages, I've got, especially when I start doing it, I've got some fear, because I know I've got this mentality that I'm gonna be possibly depreciated, that I'm gonna be checked. Yeah, so I've got this fear. Creating a new channel for American market, another channel for Spanish market, another channel for Brazilian market, because I chair them all right now, was provoking a lot of fear inside me. But after so many years of living here in the earth, I'm aware of the fact that it's impossible to avoid fear when we do something new, especially when we do something that it's worthwhile doing, that is worth doing. So that's why I just ignore it. So if you find yourself not doing something only because of the fear, then you should accept the fact that the fear is gonna be there and you can only ignore it. You shouldn't wait till the moment when there's no fear, because this moment will never come. It's impossible. The only possibility to decrease the fear, which is an emotion, which means that it's in motion, so it's gonna leave, but only after you ignore it. So for example, in my case right now, I'm not stressed at all recording this video in a foreign language, because I've done a couple of those videos before. The very next week I'm gonna prepare my first video in Czech language, and I know I'm gonna be in a lot of fear doing this, because right now I don't have fear recording my English speaking videos, but I'm gonna have a lot of fear recording my first Czech video. But I know that after 4th or 5th Czech video, I'm not gonna be stressed anymore, because the emotion of fear is gonna be an emotion, which means that after ignoring it for some time, it's gonna go away. And it always does. It works this way every single time in your lifetime, and you've got a lot of proofs that it works this way. So if you're in fear, if you're afraid of doing something, then just do it. Ignore the fear and do it. And the last one, number 14, is because you try to do something yourself. You're the only one who do it. And maybe it's impossible to do it alone. Maybe you need more people. Like for example, imagine that I've created a couple of channels right now. Soon, when I start with Czech channel, and I've organized my Italian channel to record it frequently, I'm gonna have 6 channels in 6 countries. It's gonna be a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but it's not my only work, because I've got an Institute of Linguistics where we teach languages in various countries, in Poland, in Brazil, in Indonesia, in United States, and so on. I've also got my gym in Poland. I've also got my business publishing house in Poland, and soon we're gonna have it in a couple of other countries. So a lot of stuff. If I planned to do those things myself, alone, it would be purely impossible. It's technically impossible. I need a lot of people. That's why I hire more or less 50 people. That's why I've got 4 or 5 business partners in various projects. One business partner in the gym, another business partner in the Institute of Linguistics, and so on. Because it's the only possibility to reach as many goals, or the goals which are as ambitious. So maybe, just maybe, you try to do the things alone, but you should do them with someone. For example, it's impossible to become a millionaire doing it alone. It's just impossible. I know there are some coaches which tell you that they achieved everything by themselves, or some celebrities which say that they have achieved everything by themselves. It's a lie. It's always the lie which is connected with their big ego. The truth is that the only possibility to reach great goals is to do it with other people. That's the only one. So, if your goals are big enough, then maybe you need other people, and that's the solution. That's the problem and the solution. Okay, so we've covered 14 reasons which could be the explanations for you not achieving your goals. And you've got those solutions, because if you find the reason, then implementing the solution is gonna be pretty easy. So I hope it's gonna be helpful, and probably we've covered all the solutions, the problems possible that could happen out there in the real life. So I hope they will really help you in your life, and you will really achieve your goals this time. And every single time you find yourself not achieving a particular goal, then remind this list, check it out, and find the right reason. Because only then you'll find the right solution, and you're gonna achieve your goal finally. So I hope it was helpful, and it's gonna be helpful in the future for you. Thanks for watching. Remember that below this video you're gonna find a link to a free episode about Elon Musk's strategies of success that I've prepared to you. So download it right now, give me a thumb up, and we see each other here every single Thursday. See you next time. Ciao.